Hello everybody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Tina and it is a wonderful day to be creating with you. Today I'm going to be creating one of my layouts with this Hello Darlin Collection, and I am so happy to announce that as of today, this collection is back in stock with a limited supply and only while supplies last. I've done some pre-work so that we can go ahead and get right on it. So this collection kind of had, I would say, more of a kind of a summer 4th of July kind of vibe to it. But I have to tell you, when I saw it, I saw one of the papers, which was this one here. And I immediately thought Nautical. And that was so great for me because George and I will be taking a cruise this October, and we're doing a leafer cruise, and we're going to be seeing some lighthouses. We're going up the New England coast in New England coast, excuse me, into Canada. So we're going to do some fun techniques. I will of course put the design space file as well as the bonus file containing this gorgeous lighthouse that I made with the mix-ins. And I will have those links available so that you guys will be able to create this as well. All right, I want to move both of my Versamats out of the way just for a second because we're going to focus on a couple of techniques. All right, here we go. These are the rocks that will be with the lighthouse, and I'm just putting them on my I don't know, I call it my throwaway paper. I'm grabbing some pewter ink. I like the charcoal as well. It's nice and dark, but I want to do a good bit of inking on this layout and share some inking techniques. So let's go ahead and dive in. All right. I'm just grabbing a sponge. I use my sponges lots of times, and then, oh, and I want to be very generous with my ink. So I'm rubbing it instead of flicking the ink, you know, doing this with it and just getting it around the edges. I'm actually going to rub it on there and get a little bit more. And we're just going to do these very quickly. Those are my rocks. I'm just going to go ahead and put those out of the way, or my stones. And those were cut with the mix-ins mink paper. I also want to, this is the mix-ins mink paper. Now this one, I'm just going to be going around the edges and getting a good bit of that. You know, I used to ink everything, so when I hear that flick noise, just reminds me of how I used to ink absolutely everything. I'm going to do a couple different ink techniques today. Well, working with ink, I should say. Okay. All right, this one here, I'm going to go smoother. So I'm not going to push too hard with my sponge. Just nice and rub it back and forth rather than doing the flicking. And this is going on top of the dark charcoal mix-ins paper that I have cut there, that 3 1/4 by 3 1/4. There we go. And that'll give a little more depth on that one as well. And then the last thing I want to do is, after your lighthouse is assembled, and I have gutted my papers here. After your lighthouse is all assembled, you can ink it at that time. It's going to be the easiest. Now, as I mentioned, I had gutted my papers and they're already done. And if you're looking for how I gut my papers, I almost always gut them the same size. You can check out the technique videos that are posted on my YouTube page here and see how I did the gutting. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to prep the white background pages that you see. And one of the things that you might notice is when I go to lay this out, even though I have gutted my papers, there they are. I take the 10 inches of the center out. I'm going to be offsetting this by moving this over, but we have some stamping techniques and some other things to do as well. I'm going to bring in another Versamat. I know, right? How many do I have? I only have extra because of the videoing. All right, I'm going to grab Seabrook, and I'm using Seabrook to create some sky background. One of the things that I want to do, though, before I dive in on that, is I want to place a little marker with a pencil. I'm going to place a little marker with a pencil where this blue sapphire piece is going to end. So I just have it lined up, little mark right there. And then I'm just going to move this over. I'm going to line this one up, and I'm going to do a little mark on this one. And the reason why is there's really no point in me doing anything below that because it's all going to be covered up. So it'll save me product and time. Time being the big one. All right, we're just going to pull these off. And let's do this background. Okay, so all I want to do for the background is I want to grab one of my brushes and I want to go into the Seabrook ink. And I can see the lines right there. I just want to start rubbing. Now, Seabrook is really, really light. And I'm going to come from a different spot each time. It's going to take quite a bit before you start to see some color. You can add more. You can, you know, saturate it a little bit more if you want. But I want to use the Seabrook because it is the color from the mix-ins. And that color in particular is in this layout that I've done. So I want to make sure that, and you can see here, because I'm pressing so hard, I'm getting those. And I'm okay with that because this is up in the sky. And that's the color I want. I know that Seabrook is a very soft green, and that might be a surprise for the sky, for it not to going with one of our lighter blues on this, but it brings in all the colors and it looks really pretty. Okay, I'm using a smaller brush. A bigger brush probably would have been a better idea, but I think they're all laying with my other projects right now. All right, we're just gonna go ahead and get this inked up. And I'm actually gonna do both pages with the same technique, and I'll catch you right back here. Okay, and as you can see here, both of the pages are just done with lots of big brushes. I did some blotches. I actually grabbed a bigger brush that I found and I put some on there, and that works because so much of this background is being covered up that you're only going to see small little bits of it and not the whole thing. All right, we have a couple more techniques we're going to do. The sapphire that is in there in the kit, in the cut file, we're going to just pull off about tearing down the top 1/4 of an inch or so of both of the pieces. Now, I really wanted to make sure that when I did these layouts that I added some glitter. So there's even more glitter in this second one, but we have some glitter components that we added. The lighthouse has like the windows and the top of the lighthouse, and then we're going to be adding small strips of sapphire glitter paper to the top of this as well, but we're going to do a couple of other techniques. Okay, so one of the things that I really want to do with this is I want to sand it, sand and just distress some. Yes, it's true. I have 2 sheets of that throwaway paper. All right, I'm just going to grab one of my little mini files that I have, and I'm going to sand this up. And when I sand it up, I'm going to not worry about being so perfect. Just gonna sand it up a little bit, and this can result in a lot of blue dust. So I highly suggest that when you do this, you have some scrap paper that you can either throw in the trash, or you're on the craft mat where you can wipe up all the sanded off little, it's kind of like a dust almost. All right, we're gonna flip over my Versamat so that I can get ready to do some stamping. Okay. I'm going to be using a couple of stamp sets with my layout project today. And if you're following me on my Sunday Live with CWY, then you've seen me work with this stamp set already a couple times. It's called it's not called Sending Files. Sorry. It is called, it's the water one. I will put it in afterwards. No worries. I will put that, I believe it's called Writings in the Sand, but I just want to make sure I get it right for you. Okay, I'm going to grab my sapphire ink, and this is the light side of the sapphire. And I'm going to put the water on my 4-inch block, and I've gotten a lot of use out of this stamp. Before I dive too far in, I'm just going to wipe off both of my sand pieces. Should have done that sooner, just in case. Okay, and we're going to add some light water texture to these. and just stamp it right on top of it, all with the sapphire. It's going to overlap, and you're going right back over it again, letting it come up. There you go. And you'll see that when you're all done, you should have, I want to get the little white edge at the tops, just a little splattered there. And it also helps with the overlay at the top. You're going to be left with this, which really is really cool. It looks like all the different color variations that you would find. I'm going to do it again, going up a little higher this time so I don't have to go in and get the that little white torn off part, and then back over it again. I think this is what really adds the extra. There we go. One more time. There we go. And you can see it looks really cool. And it actually looks better when it dries. Gotta love that, right? Okay, so now we're gonna move on to the sand that comes in this. Okay, and this is a stamp set only. And the water textures are really beautiful on this. You're going to get a lot of use out of this. I have already made multiple projects, so there are already more ways to use this stamp, but I can see using it for a long time. The sand, and I'm going to grab toffee. Okay, now, one of the reasons why I wanted to sand up my paper was just to give it as much different color variations as I could. This is the light side of the toffee, and I'm turning it because I just like the way the stamp fits better, if that makes any sense, just as I go down. Okay, there we go. Don't worry about getting it perfect, and once again, you're going to let it overlap. We're going to be rotating that stamp in just a second. It just makes this way nice and easy. Notice this here isn't filled in. That's okay, because the multi-layer stamping is what really, and notice I've turned it on this one. I'm going to go across the top. And if you notice any other areas, put it in there. I'm going back with the stamp again, just to add a little bit more texture so that it has a lot of that overlapping look and vibe, kind of it moving. Now this one here, we wouldn't have to do two, but we're going to for the consistency and the color. I felt like these were all just made to work together, and I've been having a lot of fun on the projects that I've been making. There we go. I think they look great. Okay, let's go ahead and start to put this together. So outside of this extra technique, we're really just using a few Stampin' Thin Cuts on this, and we're also using some stickers that come with the collection. All right, I'm just going to start with one. Doesn't matter which. All right, and this is the sky background paper, if you will. We're going to go ahead and we are going to get that all set up and attached. All right, and we'll go ahead and do this with both of them, and I'll just put adhesive around the outer edges and line them up, leaving a different, we'll do both, but we're going to lay it equally on the outer edges here with a border, but all the way against the inside left for the right page. So we're looking at about a 1/2 inch for the top and the bottom and the right side, but no border on our left on this side. And then we'll reverse the technique. There we go. And we'll reverse the technique for this page here. And I'm just going to go ahead and throw all of these into my tray so that I can grab those out as I need them, and we can have both pages to work on. All right, we'll get the other one set up as well. Okay, so I have that all attached, and now what I want to do is build my coastline and my beach. And I want to add a little bit of this sapphire glitter paper just to give it a little something. So I want to go ahead and put that on. Now, glitter paper is one of those things, not everything likes to stick to it. I do happen to have some of our liquid glass standing by, and it normally does pretty well. So we're going to go ahead and add some liquid glass to this. And I'm going to put it right along the edge. And this really is a less is more, because we can also add a little bit of washi tape when we get that where we want it. And that'll help, you know, to keep it in place. Okay, I'm just going to set up both pieces at the same time. Save me a little bit of a step there. All right, so let's bring in that scrap piece of paper. I certainly don't want this to go on top of our layouts. Okay, I've just cut my glitter paper to 3/8, a 12-inch strip by 3/8. But as you put your glitter paper on, if it's not perfectly even when you put it across the page, it will be fine. All right. We want to make sure, see that little bit of liquid glass, we don't want that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to bring in some washi tape to, in particular, cover up the places where I can see some of my liquid glass may have come out. Liquid glass is an amazing adhesive. It will stick to anything. It's like almost anything. It's really great. I'll set this aside and let it dry for a few minutes. And we'll go ahead and we'll do the other one. Okay, we're all set to go ahead and put our shoreline together. I'm just trimming off those hangover pieces of the sapphire glitter paper. There's that little bit left over. And, you know, I thought I would make sure I put this one on the left after I had sanded it a little too hard, but I think it looks great. All right, we'll go ahead and get these down. Okay, our water is all down, and I really, really love that extra little pop of color from our sapphire glitter paper. Okay, I'm just putting adhesive on the other side of our shoreline, or our sand, and lining those up. These will meet in the middle, so they are cut perfectly. Just lay them right on top. Oh, look at it. Yeah, can really see at this point the depth of that water coming together, and I love that it's not just this perfect one color wave. It has like all these depths. I love it. Looks really good. I really like how this is turning out. Okay, let's go ahead and bring in some of our other pieces and start getting those down. Also, off to the side, I have these clouds that are part of the file as well. Okay. All right, I've moved my papers next to me, and the first thing I have is the mix-ins. This kind of coordinates the sea brook and the wood grain, as well as this mink paper. This is where I brought in those mix-ins colors. Oh, and the charcoal. This is where I brought in those mix-in colors that you see in this lighthouse. So the lighthouse is made with the mix-ins paper, and I really love the look of it. I would like the lighthouse to go on the one that I'm making here. You can put yours wherever you have that, almost as high as I can possibly get it. And then I don't want to hide it all the way over here on the corner. I want to make sure that I am, let me shift a little bit there. There we go. I want to make sure that I am bringing this over and up. So I'm going to bring it over a little bit more so that I have like this water line, and it's not, you know, on, you know, fully on the sand portion there. So that way I get a little bit, I'm just kind of seeing, do I want there to be sand behind it or not? And I think I like the idea of just a little bit. I am not going to be putting this on in foam tape. It has a lot of layers when you get done, so it already has the dimension, and I think that it is it's good the way it is. All right, straighten that out just a little bit. There we go. Okay, right here we have this double matted, or this double mat for your 6x4 photo. I used that star to bring in that pop of candy apple that we see in this plaid that goes all the way around this. I love that plaid. And you might see that the back of mine is a different color. It's because I have a lot of paper, and I want this to go right above the water. There we go, right above the water. I want the lighthouse to really be up front. There we go. Okay. And now, also found in the file is this white square. This is going to be the mat for all your pictures on this side. And I just kind of want to make sure it touches everything. And then I'm just going to grab my brush for the Seabrook. Might have to get a little bit more. That Seabrook is a light color. So let me go ahead and grab just a little bit more of that Seabrook. I'd like it to kind of come over the mat a little. And I'm pushing pretty hard. I'm letting those, we talk about how we don't want to push too hard because we get those hard marks, but I actually want the hard marks for this. So, and that looks good. Not the whole thing, just the corner there. Okay. I have 4 mats. They're all in the file. All right, here we go. We're going to double mat the white one here with that piece of the charcoal mix-ins. When this goes down, we want the charcoal mix-ins to run the pattern that's on it, to run in the same direction as the lighthouse. Very nice. Okay, I know that I'm going to have this come down just a little bit lower, have my photos here, and I want this behind it, so I'm just putting it there. And then I'm tucking this behind it, and I kind of want that to, you know, go over the water and everything, kind of touch everything there, maybe up just a little bit higher. I think that'll work. And I'm going to take my journaling. I just drew lines with my dark gray Le Pen. I'm going to bring it down so that just so that you can see kind of the top of that mat, the white portion on that mat. We'll put that there. Lovely. All right. These are all of our rocks. I want to add some rocks to the front and the side of this lighthouse. It is something that you see pretty often. Let's get some foam tape. You may not need them all, but you might decide you really like them and use them all. There you go. Depending on where you place your lighthouse, you may need a few more. I think I'm good with, yeah, I think I'm good with that. I like that right there. That looks good. Okay, so I have 2 pieces from the Ahoy There Stampin' Thin Cut set. And this is what I really chose to partner with this. I loved this collection going nautical. And I even, this is one of the cards that I created with it, and one of our members won this on the Sunday Live raffle. But see, it says sending smiles across the miles. I thought that this was just such a great card and just a wonderful way to incorporate this collection into a card as well. So this video is on the Creating With You Facebook page. Okay, so I used the wheel and the anchor on this one, as well as I have a small boat. We'll go ahead and put those down, and I really just want to overlap them. They don't need a ton of adhesive. All my stuff goes in page protectors. And I know this is where my journaling goes, but I really love to just kind of put some layers on and see how everything goes. Okay, I have, this is part of the envelope, and I have been the envelope die. It is a beautiful way to decorate your envelopes. I'll grab again. You can see here, I used the other side, went the other way, and there's even a piece that goes inside of this. And I cut several of these, and I really like it, and I think I'm going to incorporate it as part of my paper tucking on this layout. Just cut a piece off. Yeah, that's going to look really nice. There we go. And then I'm bringing in that star. I have this zip strip from the collection as well. And I'm just tearing the edges. Okay, and this is going to go right up here. Paper tucking again. I love to tuck things behind my pictures or my mats or anything. This one here I'll rip off again. A little adhesive. And we'll add it right here. There we go. It all starts to come together. Let's grab our clouds. Okay, so for the clouds, I would like this first one. It doesn't really matter which side you use them on. The first one I am going to be placing, and I'm going to put it a little behind my lighthouse and bring it over. This, and that was just with regular adhesive. This one here is also going to be with regular adhesive. And just so you can see, these are two different sizes. So I got the wrong one. This one is going to be the larger one. It's going to be regular adhesive. We have one small one. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to kind of put this off to the corner. And just tuck it right back there. And then this one here, I'm going to add a little bit of foam tape to, but let's get that adhesive off of it. A little bit of foam tape. It's like white paper on white paper. It makes it a little difficult to see. Let's move that for you. Can really see how this nautical layout is coming together. I'm looking forward to spending some time seeing the lighthouses up the coast along with the leaves. Okay, this one here, foam tape going on top. So we'll have the one cloud here. And you know what? If this cloud, I just want to show you, if this cloud goes past the white daisy paper and into, it's just going to be even better. Just, you know, don't worry, like however you want to lay your clouds out, lay them out. There you go. So now I have that other cloud coming over here, and we're going to add some more stickers. I have this round one here that I kind of want to bring in, and I want to add. I'm going to tuck it right down here, but you know what? I only need half of it. We'll cut it in half and save the other half for another project. Okay, because we want this to go pretty far in there. There we go. Just a little. That's all we need. There is a banner on the sticker sheet as well. All the stickers that I am using right now as I'm doing the final embellishing can be found on the sticker sheet. That's included when you buy the paper pack and the stickers. This says The Good Life. I'm going to tuck it right up in here. I want the clouds to cover almost all of it. So I have a second little dovetail there, and I'm going to use this one to go all the way over because I don't want to see a gap there. So just filling that little part there, and then I'll slide this up here, and we have The Good Life. Very cute. All right, also were these little plaid hearts, and I thought that they were super cute. And I had thought that I might like to add them down here. I want my colors to go all the way across with this, with incorporating the mix-ins. It was really about this lighthouse. And by the way, the lighthouse is just as cute, small on cards. All right, so I have the little heart, and it really needs just the smallest amount of foam tape. I do want to make sure I get both of them though. Okay, there we go. And I'm going to put this one right here in the rock so you can see it. Yeah, that one will be great. Okay. And then there was a second one, and I'm just putting the foam tape on the side that is not going to be going onto the rocks. There we go. They're really cute. They are really, really cute. There is a Good Times. And that will go right here on my picture. That's just bringing in a little bit more of those hearts. We have this little 3-heart banner piece, and that is going on top of the red mat, and it's dovetailed. I'm just going to line it up with the zip strip there at the top. There is a little love this, and I always really like to put, you know, words everywhere. So one of the things I will definitely do, these are my go-to, is I will put the year on here. I will put little words. I'll put where we are. I love these stickers. They are the storytelling pack, and they were available when at the time that I recorded the video. Okay, love this. Look, you can even put this right on. It fits right on the top of the lighthouse. There we go. And then I found this little one here. This says memories, and I'm going to tuck the memories right down here. I don't want to cover up the, you know, I want it to just kind of overlay a little bit. There we go. There's our little memories for where our journaling will be. I think this is about done. I pulled out one more of the circles. I'm going to go ahead and cut that in half. We only need half of it. We can save the other half. I could have cut that one in half too. And I'm going to tuck that right down over here. There we go. Okay. I really like it. It looks so good. All right, we're going to grab some blue dots. This will be a great layout. Super easy to put together as well. All right, I have the blue dots, but I'm really only going to focus on the sapphire ones. First thing I'm doing is going in for some of these little hearts. And I'm just going to kind of place those little hearts where I have the 2 small ones. And then I'm going to grab one of the big ones where it says It's the Good Life up here. We'll add one right there. And then I'm going to switch over and add, oh, I have it. There we go. I'm going to switch over and add some of the bling in a couple of spots. Here we go. And a small. All right, and then we'll add a large here and a medium. And I think that is gonna do it. Okay, so there we have it, our first nautical layout with Hello Darlin. I will post these as 2 separate files. I can't remember what the CWY sketch number is on this. I want to say it's in the 80s, but I will definitely share this sketch with you. Separate will be the water and the sand. Now this is just a square, but the sand is an image, and the lighthouse will be in one file. You can decide if you would like to add those or maybe do that, you know, driftwood kind of technique that I had mentioned, where just cut the mix-ins paper in different sizes and maybe have it come down your page. But I will tell you, this image here where you get the water and the sand, it's the same one for the rolling hills that I'll be doing. And I'm using it in the, we're just flipping it, but it's in our next nautical layout with the sailboat. So if you really like these pages, you might, and you don't have access, you might want to check out if you want to snag those images. I really hope that you have liked this page and my interesting little take on Hello Darlin going nautical. I'm loving this. I believe it's called Writing in the Sand, but I will put all of the details. I am loving that writing in the sand. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. If you have enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe so you can craft along with me on my journey and join the fun. Thank you guys so much and have a fabulous day. Bye-bye.